Rightio everyone, we're back. Sorry about that. We just had to fix a slight problem with the stream. People had heard that we was having a very terrible audio bug. Now we've got it restarted and we're all up and running again. And that is the classification for Q2. Vettel is back with me, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm back.
Awesome, mate. Rightio. So now that is the classification for Q2. Vettel, would you like to go over the drivers eliminated and the top three?
Right, so eliminated, quite surprisingly, through a crash, was RSF1 K-Mag. 14th is RSF1 Cookie. 13th is JJ Hudson. 12th is Titan Prime. And 11th is Ripple and One Shot. They are the drivers eliminated from Q2. Currently in P3 is Steerage 97 with a very respectable time of 53.529. Second is Shrimper 84 with a 53.4, and current provisional pole is RSF1 Ites with a 53.1. Go on, mate.
Very respectable lap times.
Yeah, very. I was quite surprised at Ites. He wasn't really where I expected him to be at in Q1. Maybe he went for the wet setup, I imagine.
Well, that's the fun of Oh, it's gone to full wet conditions now.
It's what you like to see.
Yeah, we've went from starting dry in qualifying, went from dry to the intermediates, and now we're on full wet tyres.
And obviously these tyres will be carried on into the race if they have to make enough pit stops.
Yeah, so they've got to be careful not to overdo it on these, because these are what.
Yeah, you only get 3 sets of the wet tyres then.
Yeah, I was going to say you get like 4 sets of intermediates, but only 3 3 wets of wets and 4 of the inters. I couldn't find the bloody words there. Now it's going to be a difficult qualifying session because I think because of this the heavy wet conditions now, it's going to make it very difficult to show an accurate representation of true pace around here, or at least in dry pace. But you never know, you might see some unusual names pop up due to the change.
Yeah, especially people on the controller.
I can't actually put my finger on who would be taking the third, second, and top spot.
Well, I'm going to make a prediction. P1, RSF1 Ites. P2, I'm going to go for Shrimper, and P3, Steerage. I think it'll be a carbon copy of Q2.
Maybe right. Breezy, the other McLaren, is actually now beginning. Well, he's on his out lap still, and he's about to begin his flying lap. And his teammate is hanging quite close by. Starting in wet conditions, by the way, is horrible. Can't see anything if you're behind another car. Like you're blinded by spray.
Yeah, it's especially bad in this game. It wasn't as bad in the previous ones because obviously graphically they weren't brilliant for the time, but they've really caught up now, and spray is a definite minus, especially if you're not starting on pole.
Actually, if in general normal conditions you want to be in, you don't want to be in first, but if this is really wet, a wet start as we think it is, being on pole might not actually be that bad because if you can get a good run off the line, you're pretty much free of stress.
Well, I don't know. You can always lock up into turn 1 and sacrifice a couple of positions because obviously aquaplaning when you lock up now is much more severe than it is in the dry.
Breezy. Now just made his way through the Camel Straight. It sounds like he's feathering the throttle. It sounds like actually he's struggling quite a lot. You can see he's a wheel user as well, so he has to being extremely careful with how much he's applying. Are you a wheel user, Vettel, or are you a pad user?
I'm a wheel user.
What tracks would you say is not ideal in wet conditions for a wheel?
This one isn't so bad because it's got all the long sweeping corners. Well, the least wheel-friendly track is Bahrain, and I suppose doing Bahrain in the wet, which never happens, would be a nightmare for anyone on the wheel.
Monaco as well.
I don't know, I think Monaco in the wet's actually not that bad. Oh, breezy, oh! That's a big moment
Fortunately, no contact with the wall.
there. Oh, just avoiding his teammate then.
Oh, that could have been disastrous, so good recovery by Breezy. That was close.
57-0, wow. Only 4 seconds slower.
In the intermediate times. Obviously the gap between the 56.5 by Ice.
It's not often that you say
pushed out.
a near 2-minute lap is a flying lap, is it?
No. Well, actually, in the old game, didn't it used to be around the 2-minute marks in wet, wasn't it?
Yeah, that game didn't have a lot of downforce though. So.
Well, you can already see the improvement, really, with downforce. Now we've got Shrimper. No, Shrimper's in the pit still. Stygian. Is Stygian on another lap? Nope, he's slowed down.
Must have made a mistake. Oh, he's going for a cooldown.
Probably a cooldown. He might have the fuel for it. By the looks of it, though, Breezy doesn't feel it's quite time. It's not quite the weather for wet tyres. I think he's.
It has died down a bit. It has died down a bit, the rain.
So he's going to slap on some intermediates. And he's going to go out onto the track. It's already 5 minutes and 50 seconds left of the final qualifying session. And as it stands, the top three is Ice in first, Steerage second, and Catastrophe in third. So close up in the top three. But Shrimper's not gone out yet. He's waiting for the appropriate time, because especially in wet conditions, and it's like if you're on a slow lap. Oh, Steerage 56.2. Lukey 56.3. So good responses there from the. Oh, okay. No change has happened there, except for the fact that Catastrophe is now down in fourth place.
Yeah,
and
unfortunately invalidated his lap. I imagine he'll be diving into the pits right now, top on the set of intermediate tyres.
So intermediate runners are now going to be going out soon.
Having said
First one
that
is
though,
Brutal Reapers.
there isn't that much difference between the wets and the inners, it seems. Apart from water clearance.
Oh! He went flat out there through Radion. And luckily held on. What were you about to say, Bell? Sorry?
Well, I was just going to go on about how the WTF1 guys somehow made that into a meme. I think it's Radion actually. I think that's the meme.
Yeah, because a load of people just called that Eau Rouge. I didn't even say anything about Radion. So I think that's why they got into it, didn't they?
Yeah, that's Radion actually.
And Brutal Reapers is now moments away from beginning his first lap of the session. And only 3 minutes and 40 seconds left until the end of qualifying.
It looks like he might be able, if he does invalidate this lap, or if he wants to go on a lap after he's finished his flying, it looks possible. He's currently in the best position. Yeah, a lot of drivers coming out really late indeed. Looks like Shrimp will only be getting one lap.
Looks like it's what they're willing to chance, though, isn't it? By going out late.
Yeah, these guys on the wets, Steerage, Heights and Luki, not sure. Well, they make it round, obviously, but it's going to be a bit tight at the end.
Tight. There'll be no time to pull over for another car, because if they do, that'll harm their chances of actually getting to the end.
Yellow flag, sector 1.
That's Milan, who's now going to try and do a lap as well on the Inters. Fastest first sector for Brutal Reapers, but it's to be expected considering the complete difference between the intermediate and the wet compound tyre.
Luki and Heights are leaving this very late.
I don't think they're going to make it in time, brutally honestly.
I don't think Heights will. Luki might make it.
They can't really hang about. Like, they need to put their foot down to get to the end, because 2 minutes sound like a lot of time, but on this track, in the wet conditions, it really ain't. Fastest second sector to Brutal Reapers. So again, as he's a first car to go out onto the intermediate tyres, the fact that his lap is faster is not too much of a surprise, but it's depending on how quick can he go. Because we saw high 53s in Q2. So can he replicate that with a 1 minute 53? Bit too heavy on the throttle coming off the last corner. It does a 53.7. That's a very respectable lap.
Yeah, not as fast as the Inters normally are, and in fact the gap between the Inters and the Wets is normally quite substantial, but I suppose this track's mostly straight lines, so the actual grip in the corners isn't so much of an issue. Reaper's lifting off slightly on his second lap going through Rayon, losing the rear end of the car. Probably not the fastest way around the infamous corner.
And here's one of the people that's looking interesting for this for the start, because Shrimper just at the fastest second sector that instantly got taken away by Stygian. Muddy Biscuit is now going through the bus stop. Oh, so that means Shrimper is in a good chance of going on to provisional pole. Muddy Biscuit goes second fastest, but what can Shrimper do? We've seen that he can flush out a really good lap time. Round the last corner he goes.
Yeah, P1.
Oh, look at that, a 52! He's got a full second faster than Brutal.
Well, Heights did manage to make it round, Steerage and Luki as well.
Very well done to them. And I think the first car in front of the whole lot of them is Luki. Catastrophe jumps to second place. Nicely done.
That's a mega gap between Shrimper and Grunty though. Nearly 7 tenths of a second.
Actually got 8 tenths, isn't it?
Yeah, 8 tenths.
That's a very big gap. Luki's shown that he can be quick, but just, can he do it? Plus, you got the 2 McLarens up in front, by the way. So just wait and see if he gets a fastest second sector. So Muddy Biscuit is definitely not going into the top 3 at the end of this qualifying session. He just doesn't have the... He might actually have the time. Fastest second sector, actually, by Luki. Oh, Muddy's on a lap, and he's on a quick one as well. Going down the isn't straight.
Oh, Stygian actually made it round to do a lap.
Oh, he did! Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, very close.
Lukey crosses the line.
He won.
Whoa!
Here comes
52.5!
7,000 in
Oh
a
my
second.
god.
Shrimpers responding though, he's 3/10 up in his lap. Coming around the final corner now. Very nice exit in his Ferrari. It's a 52.2. And Sturgeon left. Where did Sturgeon come?
I
Fifth?
have no idea, but what laps were being chucked out?
Yeah, Sturgeon got P5.
Nicely done. Oh, I'll go over the classification for the top 10. The only car that just chose not to go back out onto the Inters, or just didn't get enough time to try on the Inters, was FFR Milan. Starts 10th. Breezy's in 9th. Brutal Reaper's 8th. Muddy Biscuit 7th. So not very good for the person tied for the lead in the Drivers' Championship. 6th is Contastrophe. 5th is Stygian. 4th is Steerage. 3rd is Lukey. 2nd is Ice. And Shrimper takes pole in qualifying and will start on the top spot for the beginning of the race.
I guess my prediction for top 3 was a little wrong. Lukey pulling out a stunner of a lap.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I said, this track, in general, really, with wet conditions, it's hard to really put a finger on who's the quickest, isn't it?
Yeah, I do believe Ites might have been. Oh, it is dry.
Oh. I mean, that's cool, but kind of sad as well. I was kind of hoping for some wet racing action, but you win some, you lose some.
Right, so turn 1, obviously very infamous for Romain Grosjean's airborne crash in 2012, which taken out the championship leader, which was Fernando Alonso.
Also, 2018, when Fernando Alonso went over the top of Charles Leclerc's Sauber, and actually that had proven the reliability and the safety of the Halo, because Fernando Alonso went straight over the top of he went straight over the top of Leclerc's car, and then the FIA confirmed that if the halo wasn't there, his head would have been hit by the slingshotted McLaren.
Yeah, it's very good that we had the device in place for the 2018 season.
I remember they used to get so much hate for their design.
Don't get me wrong, I do not like the look of the Halo, but it has improved safety and it's proven itself and it's worth in the sport, so I ain't got that much of a problem with it anymore.
I mean, it has actually it has looked like, though, that obviously the design of the car, because initially when the Halo was first tested, it looked like, people made jokes saying it looked like a flip-flop. But then
Kind of does.
as time went, yeah, it does still, but it's not as bad now. Like, now that they've been built in and integrated onto the car, I think a part of them looks quite nice for the Halo one now.
Yeah, I mean, of course the cars look good, sort of, but I don't think you can get away from the sleek 2000, early 2000 cars. I think they're the pinnacle of Formula One, good looking. Them in early 1990s, they were quite nice as well. So,
And we're still waiting. Oh, sorry?
so tactics in turn 1. I reckon at least somebody is going to deliberately go deep to let a car behind them go ahead so they can get the slipstream.
Very good chance. Also, I guarantee one person's going to try and push it and try and go side by side with someone up Eau Rouge. That's definitely going to be a scary thing, but I know someone's bound to try it.
Yeah, I think lap one percentage for safety cars at Spa has been very high in the past in real life and in well, not e-sport racing, but league racing.
There we go. Everyone's now readied up. We get underway.
I think we can take our time with the rundown of the grid. It's obviously the longest lap on the calendar.
Would you like the honours?
I sure will. So in P19 is XXX Beast Pro XX in the Scuderia Ferrari. 18th is Sturridge 15 in the Mercedes-Benz. 17th is XFR Peanut in the Alfa Romeo. P16 is HCR Fearless in the Red Bull. 15th is RSF1 K-Mag in the Banana Car. 14th is RSF1 Cookie in the other Mercedes. 13th is JJ Hudson 11 in the other Red Bull car. 12th is Tyler Brian 9 in the AlphaTauri. 11th is Riplin X One Shot the Tracing Point. 10th is FFR Milan, great name, in the Williams. 9th is Breezy 72 in the McLaren. 8th is Brittle Reapers in the other Racing Point. 7th is Moby Biscuit 148 Joint Championship Leader in the Hayes. 6th is Grunty in the Williams. 5th is Stitchin in the other Banana car. E4 is Steerage 97 in the Tango Squad McLaren car. 3rd is Lukey 1210 in the other AlphaTauri. P2 is RSF1 Heights in the other Alfa Romeo. And P1 is Strumper 84 in his Ferrari.
It's quite surprising that I've noticed a good formation lap. Ferrari have got cars on both ends of the grid. They've got one up front and they've got one at the back.
That'll be Sebastian Berlin.
And then Alfa Romeo have got one in second place and they've got one in 17th. So both the stronger looking cars for today's start also has their teammates trailing the back of the grid. And now the game's taken over their cars and they are lining them up for the beginning of the Belgium Grand Prix. As Shrimper, his fuel light's already on.
Yeah, Shrimper has always been a fan of underfueling the cars, as it does give quite an advantage in this game when coming off the line. I don't know why, but it just does.
That means he's got to do some preserving later on, which he'll probably be riding on the hopes of maybe a possible safety car. I think he might underfuel by like a lap or so, but regardless of how much he's underfueled, it will help him for the start because we've got no red lights. Oh, there you go.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5. And it's like
Shrimper with a
Shrimper.
bad start there.
And it looks like Eitz is going to get the run. Maybe looking down on Shrimper. Nope, down the inside goes in AlphaTauri.
There we go. I knew the tactics were coming out.
And just how much has Stidgen already lost out? Because Lukey has taken the lead of the Belgium Grand Prix with the Ferrari straight behind him. And now the Ferrari is now being under pressure. Already a 3-second time penalty for cutting a corner. It's awarded immediately to X Valpina. I can't tell what's going on because unfortunately the grid's... Ooh! Side by side. It's
Stidgen looking for the move.
The grid was all over the place there. I couldn't tell what was going on.
It's fixed itself now.
Stidgen is looking all over the back of Shrimper's car. Meanwhile, Breezy is battling with the Racing Point and Mercedes. It's holding off the Mercedes round the outside. RSF1 Cookie's actually been forced wide off the track. and he's sticking it there. Around the outside. Oh, it goes wide. He has to surrender the position and puts him immediately in harm's way for the Williams, who tries to do the Danny Rick switchback. Doesn't quite do it, and he has to yield.
Yeah, RSF Cookie with a great start there. P14 to P10.
Alan also jumps JJ Hudson, so very good driving there by FFR Milan. He is in a disadvantage considering loads of people are on soft compound tyres and he's on the mediums, so he's going for the longer run in terms of strategy.
Oh, Cookie's looking down the inside, Breezy. Oh, locking quite quickly, going in inside the McLaren, picking up damage.
And that allows FFR Milan to try his luck.
Who's boxed? No one's boxed. This game being.
According to the game, the DRS has been enabled.
Yeah, apparently it's lap 3. I don't think that's right. I'm sure it's lap 2. They did this in Hungary. Oh no, DRS.
He's actually there, but
no one's using it. Yeah, in the game's glitched again. It did this in Hungary. Yeah, it's gone back to normal. It's lap 2.
There you go, 2. It did actually generally show the DRS, which is quite confusing.
Lukey building a very big gap to Shrimp there. 1.5 seconds at the moment.
Got a little bit of a bug with FFR Milan's interval, because normally it does the plus-minus symbol when you're side by side with a car, but he's not in any battles at the moment, so that's quite confusing.
Welcome to F1 2020.
Well, another battle that's about to occur. RSF1 Cookie is still quite close to. Well, he's still keeping a good pace of the car in front of him, but he has actually sustained that wing damage, so he will be struggling quite a bit. And Breezy actually is getting a little look down. Oh, that's a very risky spot. He isn't straight, especially that left-hand curve.
Yeah, that lead ended up like, was it Nobuharu Matsushita's crashed in F2? Oh, FFR Milan going round the outside of the McLaren, forcing them off wide.
And that's FFR Milan. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. FFR Milan has now jumped into 10th place. He's back up to where he's meant to be. And it looks like Breezy is under pressure by JJ Hudson right behind him. But FFR Milan is definitely going to be getting a look at this Mercedes. He can get good up Eau Rouge into Radion.
Cookie actually had quite a nice run through Eau Rouge and Radion. It's not losing
cool,
as
look
much
at that
time
speed.
as
But Cookie used his ERS as well to just defend off the rampaging Williams. Oh, it got a car off.
It's a peanut, isn't it? Yeah. No damage sustained. You can carry on.
Good save, but the pack was so bunched together, it'd be no surprise that they did make contact eventually. Oh, Shrimper, look at how much Shrimper's lost out. Lukey's taken the lead of the Grand Prix, and as you said, tactics where you let someone overtake you to get a good run down the straight, slipstream. I think that tactic has done nothing but fail for Shrimper, as he's 3 seconds off the leader, and he's under pressure by Stidgen. Oh, pardon me. Got a car off in the mid-sector. That is Breezy crashing in the third sector.
Oh, is that a safety car then?
That might just trigger one.
Yeah, it's on the track. FIA being a bit slow. Surely there must be some form of safety car after that.
If the game should have put no. I think purely because the car was mainly down the back of the grid. I don't think the game really worried too much. But regardless of where the car is,
we've got a Ferrari in the
deployed.
pits. XX Beast Pro. Wing change. Yep.
And soft tyres. Stygian really needs to get past Shrimper, but Shrimper's doing a really good job of holding him back. And this is actually playing beautifully into the hands of Lukey up in front. Because Shrimper's not gaining on him, and the more Shrimper holds off Stygian and the rest of the pack, more of a lead Lukey can build.
Yeah, I mean, after that pull-off, I thought it'd be have done this race, but no, his car looks very, very unstable in the corner. It's a bit like the actual Ferrari in real life.
Doing exactly what Charles Leclerc did. Oh, okay, we've got another car off in the middle of the pack. That's JJ Hudson.
JJ. No damage from him. Peanut will be rapidly approaching him.
Steerage is actually probably the next person as well if he's going to get into a battle. So we've got quite a few cars still bunched up. The battle for P2 starts with Stygian on Shrimper and it ends with Brutal Reapers on Grantastrophe.
Yeah, Shrimper's not looking very happy with his car. He was struggling to get it around the flat right-hander.
Oh, wide goes Stygian there, round the final corner.
Yeah, Steerage is looking
for
the move.
Yeah, he's and he touches the back, and then the Alfa Romeo hits the back of the McLaren. No damage done, but that's the Constantina effect there.
This must be Jin's opportunity right now.
And XFR Peanut has crashed again. No, it's not. He's going to the pits. Sorry.
No, Stygian's still not overtaking Shrimper. Shrimper positioned his car fantastically.
What a good opportunity that McLaren took. He saw that the two, the Renault and the Ferrari were just getting way too close for comfort. Saw that the Renault had a very big moment of instability, and then the McLaren was just like, I'm getting into that.
Again, though.
Yeah, Stygian really wants it. Oh,
Lukey is just
will be annoyed by that.
This race.
Oh, we got a spinner.
Oh, is it Reapers?
Brutal Reaper. He saved it though. That was a full-on. That almost looked like a full-on spin, but it was a half spin.
We've got a yellow flag. Is that Peanut? Yeah,
yeah, Peanut.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a problem going through. Oh, look at this! Stygian is being pressured by Ikes going down the isn't straight.
Yeah, he's got the move done.
Nice work by Ikes, but Stygian went from battling for P2 to down to P5.
Surely Shrimper must be put under some pressure right now from Lukey 1210. Oh,
what's happened to Stygian?
He's boxed.
Catastrophe.
I think he's going for an outlet strategy.
Is he going for the hards?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh. Now this is going to be interesting, but we've got to be careful with the hards on this track because.
Yes, Steerage is so close to Shrimper, but he's got no ERS, but he looks like he's still going to get the move done.
There you go. Sorry about that. I clicked on the wrong car. So Steerage moves up to second place, overtakes Shrimper, and we know Steerage has got the pace. Now Steerage has got some work to do to catch up to Lukey, but Lukey is on unstressed tyres.
Yeah, Lukey's just doing a bit of talent right now, just controlling the race. Making sure his tyres are not gone. Yellow flag. Is that...
Shrimper's been devoured by his championship rival. Muddy Biscuit jumps the whole pack and jumps up to fourth place, and Peanut retires in the pits after having a very poor start to the Grand Prix, I think.
Yeah, what happened to Ikes and Shrimper? Oh, Ikes got damage.
Oh,
maybe a bit of
contact by the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo at one point. And again, a surprise. Stygian, obviously, it's a virtual safety car. But Peanut retiring in the pits.
This game ceases to amaze you. Oh, Ikes is in the pits while he has to. He's got a broken wing, but drive-through penalty for Shrimper.
He will not be happy about that. Remember back in Barcelona?
Yeah, they
when,
got TSQ, didn't they? I
Because
think he
the
knows
game
it's
had
a
deployed.
VSC again, you know.
Oh, and Brutal Reapers did have the speed to maybe try and make the overtake on Muddy Biscuit going up the Camel Straight. He's going to do it.
He's going to go right
Send
outside. You don't want to be outside
And he's
of that
battling
corner.
the championship leader. They make contact just a tiny bit. They touch wheels. But Brutal Reapers moves up to 4th. And Muddy Biscuit falls down to 5th.
Muddy Biscuit can't be that bothered. His championship run is behind him at the moment, and with a drive-through penalty, which I don't think Jeff can inform you. Can he?
That is a real kick in the teeth, though, isn't it? For receiving a drive-through penalty. Because he must have gone over. Because sometimes, even though your delta time, you know, when you go over, the game will be like, you know, you have 10 or 12 seconds to slow down. Sometimes the game will just be outright ruthless, and even though you've still got a load of time left, it'll give you that penalty for speeding.
Yeah.
Game has no chill.
No. Steerage pulling down Lukey's advantage to 1.5 seconds.
Oh, it looks like Lukey didn't get on well with the safety car restart, or the fact that Steerage has got monstrous pace.
Is that HCR Fearless gone off? No? Alright. Yeah, maybe Lukey doesn't actually know about the fact when it says VSC ending, you can go flat out and go below the delta, which is what I think may have happened.
Shrimper now finally boxes, so it looks like Lukey and Steerage will be soon choosing to pit onto new tyres, because I think they might be nearing their limit as Lukey, the race leader, collects a 3-second time penalty. How long could the mediums last around here, Vettel?
About 15 laps.
So pretty much most of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, but normally you'll box on the softs around about lap 10. Then go at the end on the mediums.
Right here, lap 8 of 22. And gaps have opened up. The closest battle we have on the grid is Muddy Biscuit versus Brutal Reapers, because sometimes in Grand Prix, gaps will open, and sometimes they'll be no action, and that's where we commentators sit there and think, oh, what's the closest one? Look, who's on the charge?
Stitch isn't really pulling up much time on those hard tyres. I'm not sure that was a great strategy call. But I suppose you got to try something, don't you?
In the end, he had nothing to lose after pitting. Well, if he pitted really early, you know, and some people would say it's their race to lose, and Stygian wanted to go for the experiment to take a shot with the hard tyres. He's not losing too much pace. He's maintaining around 6.2 seconds.
Yellow flag. Oh, it's Shrimper.
Oh no!
Pinned it in the pit lane.
No, that's not Shrimper.
Oh, it's Beast Pro. Oh, it's the other Ferrari. He's spin all at it. Oh,
And a
he's
wing
spun it
change
again.
for Shrimper as well. Those tyres must be really hot right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's get round on the next couple of corners very well.
Got wing damage as well, no wonder he's struggling.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's
Whoa.
doing.
I know he's struggling for grip and all that, but I don't think that normally happens even with a damaged wing.
Yeah, cut tyres. Yeah, he's gone very deep. I imagine he'll be retiring in the lane or crashing the it.
He's trying to crash it. You can see he's trying to. That was not really appropriate.
No.
He probably... Because that... Luckily, the game cleared that up instantly, but look at that. Lukey, the race leader, immediately pits just as the Ferrari crashes in the pit lane. That is definitely going to be looked at, because I don't...
No, I can't imagine.
Normally, you retire correctly in the pits by going in and then retiring normally when you cross the pit entrance line. But he went to crash in the pit lane purposely, which... That was
Oh, Rippling ahead of Lukey.
Ooh!
But Rippling still has the pit.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lukey now has the trouble of pushing his way through the old medium runners.
Yeah, Stitching in net P3 actually. Currently. Undercut has worked in his favour.
And the best part is he might find more groove on these tyres, because these guys have got to take these tyres now to the end of the Grand Prix. Well, the ones that have pitted, the medium tyre runners that pitted, that started on mediums, will have to think about pitting in the next handful of laps. It's hard to say what's going to happen. Let's look at the weather as well.
Yeah, maybe we might get the rain that we were quite happy to get.
If any of the engineers are listening in, if you could get a driver to try and ask Jeff if there's any rain incoming, I'd massively appreciate it so we could prepare ourselves, because I think me and Vettel would like to know if there's any wet weather coming, because we're currently ready for a dry race. Oh, on board of Lukey, who passes... Ooh!
Right between the two then.
That was like surgically done, that attack.
Yeah, if there is rain forecast, the guys on the mediums have made an absolute strategy masterpiece.
But right now, because it started off very sunny, but then they got very cloudy. And there's another spinner.
Oh, it's ice.
RSF1 ice.
He's out. I'm not sure that's the normal retiring spot.
I don't know if the game's going to trigger off a safety car. We've had a few incidents now where 4 cars are gone and not a single well, we had a virtual safety car, but we've not gone under actual safety car conditions.
The car has been cleared up. I don't think there will be a safety car.
No, he didn't actually retire. He didn't crash. He retired on the track.
Oh, right.
It pulled over.
JJ Hudson's looking for a move on RSF1 Cookie. A little bit too far back at the moment to be making a move.
No rain expected. Been provided by RSF1 Eastern. No rain expected, says One Shot. Meanwhile, One Shot, speaking of him, is being pressured by Steerage. Steerage is currently fighting for net P2. And the quicker he gets past this racing point, the better.
Yeah, easy. Hasn't got a lot of ERS to play with though. I think he is in the same situation as Steerage. Steerage looking the quicker car at this stage in the race.
And right now this is playing really nice into Steerage's hands, because they're fighting for the net lead here. And Lukey will eventually be held up by traffic as Steerage collects the fastest lap of the race with a 45.6. Obviously the cars are much more heavier, so as the cars get lighter we'll see more quicker lap times being pushed out. Sadly for Shrimper though, I think going onto the hard tyres now might have been the wrong choice.
Yeah, they're not looking very quick.
I mean, if you pit early and can keep the pace consistent, like Stidgen has, the hards can work in your favour, but I think, by the looks of it, the best strategy is soft to mediums.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see Trooper come in for the soft tyres. The mediums would have easily got to the end. They can do about 21 laps, I believe. Well, I mean, if you're going to extend the stint not that long.
Got a battle coming up in front of Steerage. And that is Luki versus FFR Milan. But Milan can't seem to... well, it's not Milan. Luki can't seem to get past Milan. Milan's doing a very good job of holding him up, but this is actually just harming Luki's chances of taking the lead away.
Yeah, Luki probably shouldn't have put the car into overtake mode there. Keep all that ERS for the big straight where the majority of overtakes are done on this track. Luki looking for it though.
Try. You can see Luki's getting a little bit impatient now. Brutal Reapers now finally pits onto next compound tyres. Look at that, even with the DRS, he hasn't got the speed to overtake Milan.
No, he hits the rear of
he hits
Milan.
the back of him.
Bit of wheel spin as well. This is all going to help Steerage in his attempt to try and overtake Luki. Luki being quite patient here, making sure he's tucked underneath that Williams. Oh, 3 seconds
Oh, he
time
collects another penalty. Is this going to be free wide going down the Camel Straight?
It might be.
No. Oh no.
Steerage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Milan being nice there to both of them.
Milan actually did really good to hold the pair of them off.
I think Milan knows he's not racing these guys though. It was a sensible thing to do.
I think maybe Milan's engineer was just like, look mate, your battle is not of these guys. So he respectfully gave us a really good show in holding them up a little bit to see how close they can get to each other, but in the end, back off, keep nurse your mediums a little bit until the pit window, and then get on some softs and try and push out some quick laps.
Yeah, I imagine that's what Money Biscuit's going to be trying to do. He must be hunting for that fastest lap just to extend that points lead over Shrimper as much as he possibly can.
People like Shrimper is praying for a safety car, but we've seen multiple times today in this Grand Prix that a safety car just does not want to come out, as Catastrophe now boxes. Money Biscuit takes the lead of the Belgium Grand Prix for the moment. Now pushes Luki and Steerage up to the second and third finishing position. Stidgen actually playing that strategy very well, but can he get out ahead of the Williams or Catastrophe?
No.
Not actually.
Yeah, he's come out ahead of Stidgen.
That's killed Stidgen's hopes of getting a podium.
Yeah, it sure has. Money Biscuit will also get to. I imagine those soft tyres will be a lot faster. And speaking of soft runner, here comes Brutal Reapers on Stidgen. Easy overtake round the outside using the DRS.
And doesn't even need to put himself into a defensive line, because it's obvious how big of a difference it is between a soft compound tyre and the hard compound tyre. But what's surprising is Steerage actually technically doesn't even need to overtake Luki. Luki has penalties, Steerage doesn't.
Yeah, well, whenever you ask a racing driver in real life or in this, they always want to win on track. I think it's just a fact, everyone wants to win on track. It feels like you've earned that position rather than the stewards handing out penalties to someone so you can win. I'm really not a fan of track limit penalties. I don't see the point in them.
It's like Canada 2019, where Sebastian Vettel lost his win due to the near miss with Lewis Hamilton. Obviously, a lot of people weren't happy because
Luki with a lot of wheel spin there, allowing Sturridge to get very, very close. I imagine Sturridge will have this move done by the end of the straight.
He's right on the back of that AlphaTauri. You can hear the Honda turbo.
Yeah, I do think the Honda is the best sounding engine at the moment.
Personally, he's lost out massively. Money Biscuit, he boxed, and he's going to come out ahead of Sturridge.
Just.
Oh, battle for the lead, as Steerage is going to go round the outside, going into the corner at the end of the Campbell Straight. Luki just doesn't have the battery or the speed to retaliate from the McLaren's push, and Steerage takes the lead of the Belgium Grand Prix, but this battle isn't over yet because Catastrophe, third place, is gaining ground on these two because they're on the 4.5 old mediums and the people behind them on fresh softs. One shot gets past Milan. Yeah, so that's interesting racing going on. Again, the gaps have now started to open.
Yeah, the closest gap to them is Lukey and Steerage, the current race leaders.
It looks like those steerage is starting to drop. Lukey, though. No, Lukey's staying with him.
Lukey has got 10% extra in the battery. I imagine they'll be deploying all of that on the Camel Straight.
Catastrophe, no penalties. Do remember Lukey's got at least 2 penalties. That means Catastrophe could be looking at net second place.
Well, if Grunty does put the hammer down, he might even have a shot of winning this.
He could. Don't know how Steerage is doing. We'll check the penalties next lap. Been a quick Grand Prix. Obviously, there's only 22 laps, but it is the longest circuit of the whole calendar. Steerage pushes down the end of the Camel Straight, and he's got Lukey bearing down of him. So even though they swapped positions just a lap ago, they both have that pace.
Yeah, Lukey's building up a good amount of battery, I believe. Whereas Steerage is having to deploy it all on the Camel Straight. Yellow flag sector 1, is that Titan Prime?
It's Titan.
It is.
Crash is going up Radion.
Shrimp is in the pits with some soft tyres.
He's going to try and get fastest lap of the race to deny it from the current person, and I'm going to try and find out who that is.
Yeah,
that is Brutal Reapers.
I imagine Muddy Biscuit will be trying to make this move very quickly. You know, Brutal Reapers isn't actually that far off the podium. If they start really bringing down the gap to Lukey... Oh no, I do believe Reapers does have quite a few penalties, doesn't he?
I think he has. Shrimper did also have to serve his drive-through, I think.
Yeah, he served that quite a while ago.
Into the bus stop. Stygian under massive pressure from Muddy Biscuit. Regardless of where Muddy Biscuit finishes today, he will take the lead of the F2 Drivers' Championship.
Unless he fails to finish.
Yeah, so he's still got some work to do because he can comfortably finish and still stay in lead. But while Shrimper's had a poor race, he needs to maximise and capitalise on the Ferrari's bad day, which looks like he's going to.
Defending hard and 5. Oh, I don't know what that is. Yeah, getting the move done up to P5.
Nicely done as Haas pushes on. Stygian does stay quite close, but the battle for the lead is still quite close to each other. Titan Prime goes down a position because he's now boxed onto soft compound tyres.
It's a bit of a strange choice. Felix is on the boxing as well.
It is 5 laps left to the end of the race. Actually, shall we go over penalties?
Yeah, I sure can go over the penalty situation. Currently, Steerage has got no penalties, as Primus rightly said. Lukey has picked up quite a few. He's got 2 penalties, which will drop him a P2 because Grunty has nearly gone a flawless race. But one more track limits warning, and Grunty will be getting a penalty. Brutal Reapers has got 4 penalties.
Ooh.
Muddy Biscuit, as per usual, has had a flawless race. That's his main strength, just not picking up a single penalty at all. Stygian has got 1. RSF1 K-Mag has 2. Sturridge has got 2 as well. FFR Milan picking up a single warning all race. Rippling 1 shot, no penalties as well.
On board with FFR Milan, and down the Kemmel Straight, passes Sturridge and moves up to P8. Also, Muddy Biscuit has made a pretty good move, and right now Shrimper is the only person that could try to... Well, actually no, Titan Prime, HCR Fearless and Shrimper are the only people that could deny this extra point. Muddy Biscuit did take fastest lap of the race. It's 1 extra championship point that's going in his pocket.
Well,
Steerage
he's currently net 4th, is Muddy Biscuits. That's 12 points over Shrimper. Shrimper not having a great race at all. His pace at the beginning of the stint was not great, then he unfortunately got a drive-through penalty under the virtual safety car. And he crashed, I believe, as well, didn't he?
He did. Looking at the gap to leader, Ripping 1 shot collects another 3-second time penalty. It all depends on the next coming laps, because Lukey is collecting penalty after penalty. Cookie just crashes in the mid-sector.
Oh, is he out? I see.
It's a virtual safety car.
Oh, Stygian's in the pits. I imagine he'll be going for the fastest lap now.
He's got 15 seconds. Because all the cars going through the bus stop have a really, really slow delta. Minimises Stygian's loss after the pit stop. He'll come out in front of JJ Hudson. So he'll stay in P10. So that is a point still. But Stygian's going, as you said, he's going to deny it.
Got a lot of work to do there.
And yeah, Cookie's now gone. I think that's understandable after pushing quite hard through most of the Grand Prix. And then HCR Fearless has collected a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety virtual safety car.
I don't think it's going to affect his result too badly.
Oh yeah, he's at the back of the grid, so he's...
Yeah, a minute behind Titan Prime. Has he been lapped? He's close to being lapped.
Oh, JJ Hudson's received a 5-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane exit white line. So he didn't follow the exit line, and he receives a penalty for dangerous re-entry to the track.
Yeah, the FIA are very, very, very strict on that. This can lead to air-on crashes if the car does exceed the track entry line.
We actually saw that back before. What Grand Prix was it? It was Mugello.
Muddy Biscuit needs a second to get on a podium position and overtake Lukey. Oh no.
Now, virtual safety car might have helped. What Lukey needs to do is, if Lukey gets another penalty,
it's game over for the podium.
Yeah, it will guarantee Muddy Biscuit third place. Plus, he's got fastest lap of the race. But Lukey is now actually going to have the DRS assistant going down the end of the Kemmel Straight. Steerage is defenceless in terms of this battle. That's Shrimper.
Oh, it is. He's...
Oh, not good for Lukey, sorry, as he makes a mistake going, a 10-second time penalty? That's
yeah,
harsh.
I don't think Shrimper gained anything from doing that, but okay.
That's extremely harsh.
Oh, Lukey has actually got ahead of Steerage.
He did make the move, but Lukey does have those penalties, so he'll cross the line as the race winner, but he will fall back on penalties. So Stygian actually collects his first penalty of the day.
No, it's
3-second time penalty. Oh, his second, sorry. And soon they're going to be bumping into traffic.
One of the biggest losers on time penalties. Currently with 12 seconds, that's quite a lot of time.
That is a lot of time.
Yeah, currently Muddy Biscuit isn't on the podium anymore. He seems to have lost quite a bit under the safety car.
I think Shrimper might be calling it a day.
Yeah, I probably would as well.
Shrimper was just sitting there at the pit lane entrance, redlining the hell out of his Ferrari.
He's put hards on.
No, he's put softs on.
Alright, they look like hard from where I was sat.
Is he on softs? He might be having a tyre glitch. So Shrimper now comes out of the pits in last place. He started on pole and fell all the way down the back of the grid.
JJ Hudson picks up at the stop of the race for Aston Martin Red Bull Racing.
Denies Muddy Biscuit that extra point, which is crucial. So, in a way, even though Muddy Biscuit will take home some very good points, that's one less point for Muddy Biscuit to lead by. So, JJ Hudson has done Shrimper there a service.
If Grunty's not careful here, he might not even pick up second from Lukey's penalties. He's currently about 4.2 seconds back, so if he loses another 1.2 seconds on the next lap, it's only P3.
And the battles have really calmed down, but we have to go on board with Stygian, because Stygian is now caught up to the Mercedes of Sturridge, who's actually having a bit of trouble now. 13-lap-old medium tyres versus fresh softs. I think it's easy to say what's going to happen next. The Dutch driver lining himself back behind Sturridge's car.
Yeah, I don't think Stygian made the correct strategy decision to go on the soft tyres. He could have been walking away with at least 6 points. It looks like he's going to only get 1 at the moment. I'm not sure Sturridge has as many penalties as Stygian.
Stygian looks like he's struggling a little bit with dirty air. He's moving constantly out of the. Oh, there you go, down the end of the straight. Oh, that Mercedes has just got the better top end speed.
Yeah, he's gonna have to use all of his overtake to get by the Mercedes. Oh, very tight there.
Whoa!
Oh.
Stygian. Now that wasn't good.
No.
That doesn't look good on Stygian's end. It just drove straight into the Mercedes.
Yeah.
And that has ruined Sturridge's race.
It has. Sturridge is going to be so slow on those mediums and no front wing. It might offer opportunity for JJ Hudson to pick up a point.
Which will mean JJ Hudson will get to claim.
Oh, he's got a 3-second penalty.
Ooh.
Just don't say that.
And it looks like
just
Sturridge has been lapped by. Yeah, he's been lapped. So now we get to the final corner. Lukey will cross the line as the Belgian Grand Prix winner, but due to his penalties, will lose his first place to Steerage.
Yeah,
to Grantastrophe as well. Grunty takes second.
Muddy Biscuit fourth.
Oh, Muddy just misses out. So Lukey does still collect his podium. FFR Milan to fifth. Very good work there from them lot.
Yeah, very good work.
No wing at all. That crash with Stygian really did take away everything. That Mercedes was so lucky not to have been DNF'd.
Yeah, very much so. Well, at the moment, as not all cars are across the line, RSF1 K-Mag has gained the most positions in the race from P15 up to P6.
And Titan Prime is the last car to finish the Grand Prix. But we've just got to wait for him to get down the end of the isn't straight. Now through the bus stop.
I think he might be going for the quicker lap of the race.
He did it as well.
Well done,
Stole it.
for that.
I think he might have, or he might have an unserved penalty. But K-Mag got awarded by the game Driver of the Day. But if you actually want to vote for your Driver of the Day, go onto Twitter and you can vote for your driver on the poll. But yeah, a very good return from Steerage. He's been gone for a while. And the first thing he does when he returns, takes home a race win. So that is going to definitely bring McLaren back up in terms of the Constructors' battle. And unfortunately, with the retirement of Breezy, 25 points is the most he can grab today. But regardless, good race today, lads.
Yeah, fantastic race. Plenty of overtakes. Majority at the Camel Straight. Obviously, the DRS and the slipstream, they're very, very powerful. Well done to our top 3, and I will get them into the party immediately.
JJ Hudson actually took fastest lap of the race, so Sturridge will only go home with 1 point. So going from the classifications of the Grand Prix, from last place it goes Breezy in the McLaren, 18th is XFR Peanut, 17th is a Beast Pro in the Ferrari after crashing into the pit wall a lot, Ice in 16th, Cookie 15th, 14th is Shrimper, 13th is HCR Fearless, 12th is Titan Prime, 11th is JJ Hudson, 10th is Sturridge, 9th is Stygian, 8th is Rippin' One Shot, 7th is Brutal Reapers, 6th is K-Mag, 5th is Milan, 4th Muddy Biscuit, 3rd Lukey, who manages to get home with a podium even after his penalties, 2nd is Catastrophe, and then after returning back to RSF1, after a couple of weeks or a few weeks gone, Steerage wins the Grand Prix from 4th, so very good work from them. And now we just wait for the top 3 to enter the party. So I'll interview 3rd, you interview 2nd, I'll interview 1st. Vettel?
I don't think Steerage has a microphone.
I don't think they can either.
So I think...
Just a
so
me.
So Grunty is the only person for the interview then.
Special interview, boys. Special.
So you could have a little bit of a longer one then because of the lack of the other 2. Vettel, would you like me to do this or would you like to?
It's up to you, mate. Oh no, we got Lukey.
You do Lukey, I'll do Grunty. So we'll start off with Lukey first. Oh, hello Lukey, welcome to the virtual comms box. Could you please make sure to include your audio by ticking the box in the party, please?
Yep.
Awesome. Vettel, take it away with Lukey.
Lukey, fantastic pace at the start, pulling out a 5-second gap on Shrimper. How did you do that? He looked very strong in qualifying, but that pace obviously didn't translate into the race. You want to run us through it?
Yeah, so managed to get a gap at the start. Got about 5 seconds, so I was alright. And the VSC came out, and my delta messed up. I was going on my delta time, and then George or Steerage's, closed up 4 seconds. So something went wrong on my delta. Game fucked up a bit. So there you go.
Alright. You didn't know that when you're in the VSC, when it says ending, you can go well below the delta.
Yeah, well, I was just on my delta time, and I was just going to that really. So I was just doing that, and just tried to get the pace up from there. Really, try to get a bit of slipstream from Steerage.
Yeah, you got the win on track, but unfortunately you picked up 2 penalties, which cost you P1, and you demoted to P3.
Yep, I mean first podium, so it's alright.
Yeah, well done on your podium, and I'll hand it to Primus to interview Grunty on his P2.
Grunty.
Hello.
Right, so obviously today you're without your main teammate Brundle, so you had Milan to fill in for his space, and a P2 and a P5 for the Williams team, so that's good points that you both brought home. And also it's pretty satisfying for you because many things were happening in that race, but you managed to push through it when you got onto the soft tyres, and you brought yourself home a nice second place. But how's the race been on your end?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I started quali because quali was a bit of a weird one. I didn't think I had the pace to even get through Q1, to be honest, but it came out of nowhere. And then the rain came, and that was sketchy. I'm surprised more people didn't crash, to be fair, in quali, because I thought I was going to a few times. But yeah, the race was really good. Obviously, being the first one on the medium runners, no one else did. I was expecting them to kind of drive away the top 5, but I was happily keeping with them, which was quite handy. And then people were just spinning out. I think at one point I let Brutal pass because we were in a party together, and he felt he was faster, so I just let him pass, and then he spun next corner, so I got past him. And then obviously the incident between Eitz and Schumper, I managed to get past that as well, which was extremely lucky. Had myself in 3rd place on the mediums, not far behind steerage. And then it obviously just pushed through, got to lap, I think it was 13, and about 65%. And they were starting to struggle, so I was like, right, I'll box. And I'll do that 1 lap extra. And yeah, it worked out. I just sort of pushed and pushed towards the end. And I knew Lukey had 2 pens, so I knew I just had to keep within that 6 seconds of Lukey to get that podium, that 2nd place. But I knew that I wasn't catching. Sort of, I got to like, I think it was after lap 5 on the softs, and they just weren't at the prime pace. So I wasn't catching as much as I thought I was going to, and I just ended up sort of sticking behind them quite a bit. So that it worked out quite nicely in the end. But I'm happy to go in with P2 for I think P6 in the end, qualified.
So do you think going for the strategy of medium to soft tyres was probably the worst call? Do you think the soft to mediums would have been the better alternative?
I think no. I think on the soft medium, I would have been stuck in that train regardless, because they ran quite low wings. I think I was running like a 2.7, I think, in the end, something like that. But I wasn't exactly like being able to make moves. So I think on softs it would have been the same situation, because it's just a straight. Your tyres, the soft tyres don't make you fast on the straight. They make you faster in the middle sector. And towards the end of their sort of stint, I felt like I was faster. And then obviously came home with the 2nd place in the end. But on a soft medium, if you don't pull away, then it's pointless. If you're stuck with the medium runners on the softs, then you might as well just be on the mediums. So I took the gamble and just did medium soft, and it ended up working out. So I mean, both strategies are really good, but obviously being on the mediums really helps against sort of the safety car at the start, if there was to be one. Hats up to everyone, to be fair, because there wasn't one. There wasn't a full safety car in this race, so that was quite good.
Yeah, and now the big question, because the race winner has made his strength paramount. He's been gone for a while, which has given you lot a good chance to fight, and the first moment he returns, he takes the win. So the Muddy Biscuit at the current moment now takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship within Division 2. Do you think Muddy Biscuit could hold on to that, or do you think Steerage is a good contender for the championship now? Because he's made it, like, even before he was gone for a while, he was winning races, and then the first thing he does when he comes back, he wins a race. Do you think he's a serious threat?
Yeah, I think it would be a good battle between Steerage and Muddy. I think that's going to be one to watch, sort of like just like F3. Because I think Steerage will start clawing his way back now. I know we're only like halfway through the season at the moment, but you never know what can happen. It's RSF1. You know, you could go from winning the whole season to losing it at the last few races, which we've seen many people do over the last few seasons. So it is possible for Muddy to win it, or Steerage to win it, or even like Shrimper. Shrimper's had quite a good run.
Are you confident in maybe hoping to try and take the title near the end, or do you feel you might not be that close? Like, because you're not quite out of it yet. As you said, you're halfway through, so you could bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm not thinking about it, because the moment you think about the championship, that's when things start going downhill, and that's what's happened to a lot of people. So I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just sort of enjoying the races, and I pick points where I can. Obviously, the last few races have been a bit rubbish for me in terms of sort of collisions and mistakes. So coming in with the P2 obviously is a big jump in terms of points, but it's a tough division. It's not an easy division to even win. Like, put it this way, I haven't won a race this season. I've got like 4 second places, but I haven't won a race. So it's difficult. I'd like to be there. It'd be nice, but I think a top 5 finish would be sort of my aim.
Consistency has been good for the Williams team, and yeah, that is it, everyone. And thank you
I just
once
want to say
again,
one thing. Sorry,
Oh,
one thing.
Go ahead.
End of that race, Brutal Reapers soft compound tires were 92%.
Wait, what?
Yeah, 92% never puncture. Either if that was a glitch, because mine were only on about 60%, but if that was a glitch or not, I don't know. But his tyres were 92 coming down like the final long straight.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Just wanted to mention that. Hats off to my teammate as well. Obviously, he's come in as a reserve. Milan, he's done really well, so fair play to him. Like, GG's on that. And GG's to the top
Nice
3
ball.
as well. Lukey and Steerage. GG's.
Right, yeah. Well done to Reapers for holding on with that much wear on his tyres, because he was about 8% away from hitting the full 100% and a guaranteed puncture. But that was bloody good racing. And Vettel, I have to say, the qualifying was interesting and that race was quite fun. And but sadly, that was the second to last European circuit. Are you feeling Monza could bring as much action as Spa did?
Yeah.
Hopefully. Can never rule Monza out. We had a fantastic race in real life here in 2020 where Pierre Gasly took a shock win in his AlphaTauri. Maybe we get something like that at Monza next week.
That would be pretty nice to see. I mean, I would like to see more Italian Grand Prix, because all of them are really good. Like Mugello is quite a nice looking track. Imola, maybe that could be things for coming up in F1 2021, but that's something we'll look down the road when that game does come out. But anyways, thank you very much everyone for joining us for this race in Division 2. If you want to see more Division 2 action, you're going to have to wait until next week for that. Tune in next Sunday at 8 PM when Division 2 will duke it around the streets, in the track of Monza. We've seen legendary battles there before in real life and RSF1, so don't miss it. However, if you want to see more Belgium action, tune in tomorrow at 8 PM when F3 will duke it out in this circuit. And well, I think Grantastrophe, I think you mentioned that the F3 times will be much quicker in the chat earlier, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. Anyways, everyone, thank you very much, and we hope you have a good evening and stay safe during these times of lockdown, and take care.